Blind Date. And here is your host, Miss Cilla Black.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to Blind Date. You know, most men are not romantic. Did you know that? Did you know that, girls? Most men are not romantic. Will you take my Bobby? Somebody, please. I must tell you, on our wedding anniversary, we went out to our favourite restaurant for a meal. And when we were at the coffee stage, I said to Bobby, if you had the choice, would you do it all over again? He said, yeah, but the next time I'd have to fish. Men. But right now, let's meet three lucky lads waiting to go on a blind date. Hi, number one.
Hello, Cilla.
Would you like to tell everybody your name and where you come from?
My name's Darren and I'm from Surrey.
Lovely. Have you got a job, Darren?
I have. I'm an aquatic retailer.
An aquatic what?
Retailer. I sell all sorts of exotic fish and corals and all that sort of thing.
Is it your own business or family?
It's a family business, yeah.
What's your favourite fish? Do you eat fish?
I do, yes. I don't like any exotic fish. I suppose just the normal, like the old cod and chips and all that, you know?
I mean, don't you feel bad? I mean, when you look down on your plate, you know, and it's all full of batter, do you think that could be, you know, one of our... We could be selling that.
I don't get too involved with me fish, to be honest with you.
You just enjoy your job and enjoy your fish.
That's right, yeah.
All right, Darren. Well, enjoy Blind Date tonight. Hello, number two.
Hello, Cilla.
What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm James and I'm from Tyne and Wear.
Lovely. A few fans in tonight. What do you do up there in Tyne and Wear?
I'm a bar manager for a fun pub.
Oh, I read all about you. I mean, a fun pub. Tell everybody what happens in this fun pub, because it really is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just built around atmosphere to have a good time behind the bar, just to reflect it so everybody has a good time. It's a party night.
Tambourine playing and...
Yes.
All that number. And everybody has a good time.
Yeah, really good time. It's great.
Well, have a good time on Blind Date tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Wish you a lot of luck. Hello, number three.
Hello, Cilla.
What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm Warren and I'm from Berkshire.
Well, do you run a bar or anything like that, Warren?
No. I'm a senior account representative for an employment agency. That's
Really?
a mouthful, isn't it?
But you're very flirtatious, though. I read all about you. You take your clients out.
Yeah, I deal mostly with women personnel managers and things, and so, you know, I'd like to take them out for lunch and sort of, you know, flirt with them and things like that.
If you were to choose, what lady would you be flirtatious with if you're very flirty?
She'd probably have the face of Meryl Streep and the tongue of Nina Mishkov.
And the what?
The tongue of Nina Mishkov.
Well, Nina will be very pleased. But we won't go into that. We've got a very lovely lady beyond those screens. Enjoy Blind Date, and I'll see you all in a mo, all right? See you later. Well, our three lads are each hoping to be picked, and it's all down to one girl, and here she is. Her name's Alkis, lovely name, and she's from London. Come in, Alkis. Now, Alkis, that's short. I mean, your parents are Greek, aren't they?
That's right, they are.
Now, you're a secretary at the minute, aren't you?
That's right, I am.
Have you always done that, love?
No, I used to be a beautician. I used to do it freelance.
Well, you look very beautiful on it.
Thank you very much.
And we've got three lovely guys beyond those screens, and they're all dying to hear your questions, so off you pop.
Right. I love going to Greek restaurants, especially when you get to smash the plates. What's your idea of a smashing time? Number one.
I think it'd have to be smash and grab. Firstly, I'd have to smash down this screen, then I'd grab you in my arms and I'd whisk you off on our blind date.
use that, can I?
Oh, well, you'll have to for a minute, because you've got to have 2 and number 3.
OK, number 3.
Well, what a question. I think I'd make a smash hit, dedicate it to you, because, Elkis, if you choose me tonight, we'll have the time of our lives, and I owe it all to you.
You pretty fool, it sounds nice.
Oh, does it? But no, I was grinning. I was. Number 3, I was grinning. No, but I mean, I just thought, smoothie.
I like them smooth.
Oh, do you?
And rough on the outside.
I'm certainly rough.
He's definitely rough on the outside. Smooth on the inside, rough on the outside. That was number 3.
Right, number 2.
I'd like to smash the world jet ski record with you on the back, because the faster I go, the tighter you'd hold on.
You're not... What's the matter, Alkis?
Not as good as number 3.
Not as good as number 3.
No.
Well, you've got 2 more questions to make up your mind.
OK, right. I like winners. If you were to enter a talent contest, how would you make sure you won the first prize? And that's to number 3.
Well, I haven't told you yet, but I'm actually a clairvoyant.
Claire?
So I'd know that I'd won the first prize. Oh, my God. I can feel the vibes. I can feel a message coming out. It's a message for Alkis. It says, Alkis, choose number 1. Oh, no, number 3.
All right, then, number 3. I'll choose number 1, shall I?
No, please don't.
OK, number 2.
Well, judging by the talent in it tonight, it's no contest. So if you want to win, if you want to be a winner, pick me.
I am a winner.
I'll be your first prize.
Just have to wait and see, won't we? And
You little tease. That's number 2.
I know.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Number 1.
I think I'd have to cheat. Firstly, I tried bribing the judges by saying to them if they didn't hand me the first prize, then I'd have to sing to them.
And which is?
What, do you want me to do a verse now
Yes,
for you?
please.
Oh, God.
Okay, then, here we go. Well, don't tell me what to do, and don't tell me what to say.
Oh, sure up.
OK, number 3. If you were invisible for an evening, where would you go and what would you do? Number 2.
If I was invisible. If I was invisible, I would go to a nightclub and I'd make sure that I popped into the ladies' toilet-loos. Only to find out why they're always going together and what they talk about.
OK, number 3.
Well, Elkis, if you choose one of the other 2, then I'd have to be the invisible gooseberry on your blind date. And I'd come back next week and tell everybody what really went on. If you know what I mean.
Not saying. OK, and last but not least of all, number 1.
Well, being a very keen rugby player, I think I'd have to go to Twickenham on International Day and streak, I think.
You excited?
Very excited.
I think you've made your mind up already, but don't tell us, because there's Graham, as always, with that quick reminder.
Well, Alkis, how does International Streaker number 1 grab you? He sounds a real smasher, even if he won't let you tell him what to do. Or would you rather choose prize jet skier number 2? You won't see him in the ladies' loo. Or perhaps you prefer clairvoyant number 3, who'll have the time of his life as a see-through gooseberry. The decision is yours.
Come on, Alkis, are you going to go for 1, 2 or 3?
I think I'm going to go for number 3.
I knew you made up your mind really early. Rough on the outside and smooth on the inside.
right.
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, you'll be upset at the 2 that you turned down.
Will I?
Oh, yes. Do you like blondes?
No.
Oh, well, you won't be upset then. You turned down number 1, our blonde Darren from Surrey. Come in, Darren. Yes, he's the invisible streaker. Also turned down number 2, and that was James from Tyne and Weir. Come in, James. He's gorgeous. Another blonde. See, another blonde, and you don't like blondes. But it's a good job, because number 3 is not a blonde. Where are you going? You chose Warren, and that was number 3, and he's from Berkshire. Come in, Warren! Well, of course you can. Yes, yes. It's not normally done. This is the first. He didn't want me in between the 2 of you. He is an old smoothie. You like them old smoothies, don't you? Who's going to choose where you're going to go on your date? Oh, I hope it's a romantic one.
I hope so too.
Oh,
Make it a good one.
Make it
In Sherwood Forest.
What do you know now?
God!
He won't help you now. What? What does it say?
Flying lesson at Goodwood.
It's your own fault you can't take a joke. Yes? Yes, you'll be having flying lessons at Goodwood. You'll be... Do you like flying? Tough. You're speechless. You will be by the time you've been up in a tiger moth. Oh, no. Because you're going to travel up there flying an open cockpit. What, are you sorry? You will be after this. And then if you're really daring, you can stand on the wings and... And all we ask is to come back next week and tell us all about it. Will you do that?
Yeah, all
You've
3
chosen Alcus. See you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Alcus and Warren. Have a good night. Welcome back to Blind Date. Now, last week, Debbie here chose Andrew, and they spent their blind date in Sherwood Forest, and our camera crew went with them.
Right. Did you think you'd hit it? Did you think you would?
This is blank.
My eyes, yeah.
I like this.
Oh, yeah. Take some pictures.
I'll take some beating that one, Debbie.
Which one? No, mine's closer. There's one just below that you can't quite see.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
We'll get the measuring tape out later. Look at that, perfect. You got wetter than I did.
Well, Debbie and Andrew, when you went down to those woods, did you get a big surprise or was it a big shock with each other? Shall we find out?
When I first saw Debbie, I thought she was very attractive, particularly her beautiful brown hair, which was brushed away from her face. And I think it's very difficult for women to still look good when it's brushed all the way back.
When I first saw Andrew, he was very tall and dressed very smart. He looked very good.
When we got there, they kitted us out with these wetsuits. Now, Debbie's was great, but mine was... The wetsuit was fine, but they gave me these shoes that must have been about size 15 that made my legs look like golf clubs and made me look wobbly like Daffy Duck.
As we were in the canoe and we were coming up to the bank, which we were doing very perfectly, all of a sudden things went drastically wrong. I think Andrew reached out to the bank too early and the boat tipped up, so I'd say it was his fault for leaning out.
I think it was definitely Debbie's fault for throwing the boat over. She leaned over too much to the right. We both took a ducking.
Well, on the second trip, going down on the raft, we went down backwards and they warned us about holding onto the raft very tightly, and Andrew very nearly fell out, but not quite. And we went down this very steep drop to begin with, and I let out a pretty girly scream. Tried desperately to regain composure as we carried on the course, but David was pretty cool all the way along. Andrew was quite worried about when we got to Sherwood Forest to do the archery, we'd have to dress up in costumes, and he asked me a couple of times about, I hope I don't have to wear green tights, but I think it would have been quite amusing to see him in them. Debbie didn't swoon at my muscles during the day because, one, she didn't see them, and two, I haven't got any. Andrew's also a bit on the thin side. I prefer somebody that's a bit more to him. She could be not really a wolf in sheep's clothing, but she's the sort of person that's quiet when you first meet her, got a terrific sense of humour, and you have to get her to know her a bit more, but I think she's a bit wacky, actually, on the side. Andrew was a really interesting person, and I wanted to find out as much about him as I could. We just got on so well. I think Debbie's ideal date would be Marty Pellow from Wet, Wet, Wet. But seeing as he's a brunette with earrings and I'm blonde without any earrings, I come pretty much down on the ladder. But I got wet, 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 and I've got a sense of humour, which I hope she went for. If Marty Pellow had have turned up on the date, I'd have just ran up to him and just flung my arms around and kissed him. I put my arm around Debbie a couple of times, kissed her a couple of times, and it felt good. There wasn't any romance at all on the date, but when Andy was getting into the taxi to get the train home, he did kiss me on the cheek when he said goodbye, which was very nice. I didn't expect us to give me more encouragement because it was only a one-off date, but I'd like it if she gave me more encouragement on the second date, if I saw her again.
I don't know whether Andrew wanted any romance at all. He certainly didn't try it. I think he may have wanted to, but if he did, he hid it.
Debbie, you were terrific. I had a great blind date. I'd like to get to know you better, so I'd like to come down to Southampton and take you out for a meal.
Well, Debbie, you heard our Andrew at the end of that film there, didn't you, Chuck? You know, I mean, he's pleading with you now on film. I mean, can you show him a little bit of encouragement? I mean...
I'm surprised.
Why are you so surprised?
I didn't think he liked me that much. Well, we got on really well, but I didn't really realise that he liked me that much.
But he did, nice. He said so on film.
I know.
But you, in turn, said you are a big fan of Marty Pellow. And the biggest insult I would have thought to you, my love, is that if, you know, Marty Pellow turned up, she would have run up to him, flung her arms round his neck and, you know, gave him a big hug.
Yeah, we've all got fantasies. She's got no chance with Marty Pellow.
Oh, thanks.
He might be watching. He might. But let's get back to you two, because he's really keen to see you again, and you said he didn't show you that on the date. How do you feel about that now? He is keen.
Yeah. I like him very much as a friend. He's coming down to Southampton, actually, next weekend.
Oh, yes. You did mention that you actually got a bit scared on film. You know, I mean, you broke out into a girlish scream. Do you think that put you off, Debbie?
No, I didn't really notice. I was just too worried about not falling out myself. I did hear it, actually, and he sort of went
What
like
was
that,
the
and he
scream
fell
like?
over.
Can you give us a little... What's the girlish scream? I don't think Marty Pellow does that, Debbie, no. But I'm glad you enjoyed your date. I'm glad you enjoyed each other, but I'm a bit upset that you didn't get on a little bit better. Nevertheless, thank you for coming on Blind Date.
Thanks,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Cheers.
Debbie and Andrew. Take a break right now, but join us in a couple of minutes to find out if Gary and Neve enjoyed their date in Yugoslavia, and to meet the lad who has to choose one of these three lovely lasses. See you in a couple of minutes.
Blind Date Series 5, Show 17, Part 3.
Welcome back. You know, kids are the ups and downs of life. They get you down all day and keep you up all night. Isn't it the truth, girls? Yes. Gone are those days for me. And enough of that. We've got three lovely girls here looking for a blind date. So, let's go and meet them. Welcome, girls, to Blind Date. Let's start with you, number one. What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm Colette and I'm from Sunderland.
Oh, Colette from Sunderland, a lovely place. What do you do up there in Sunderland?
I'm a secretary for a financial director for a hotel group.
And you enjoy that, do you?
Yes.
Have you met any interesting people?
No.
Well, that says a lot for me then, doesn't it? Well, we hope you meet a very interesting person on tonight's show, and that's if you're chosen, of course. What is your ideal mate, by the way?
I like Marty Pellow's smile.
Oh, the smile, that little twinkly smile, and also that beautiful voice, don't you think? Colette, enjoy blind date.
Thank you.
I'll see you later, all right? What about you, number 2? Hello, number 2, and where do you come from?
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Emma and I'm from Norwich.
Now, you look very, very sophisticated. You don't mind me saying that, do you?
No, I'm not sure whether I do, though.
Oh, but you do. You've got
you.
that model look, you know, you could... Oh, Jerry Hall. You'd put her to shame.
I don't think so. Thank you.
Well, I think she looks lovely, doesn't she, lads? Yeah. They're trying ever so hard to be butch. Yeah. What is your job? What's your job?
I'm a student at Manchester Poly.
What do you hope to be eventually?
Well, I'd like to be a researcher in television. I do like to work in radio or television.
Well, you have to get on with people very well. Do you think you get on with people very well?
I hope so. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask them.
Well, I think you're doing very well this evening. Enjoy blind date.
Thanks.
Hello, number 3. What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm Lisa and I'm from County Durham.
Have you got a job, Lisa?
No, I'm struggling with A-levels at the moment.
Ah.
Well, I've passed one.
Yeah, what do you get?
A D. In economics.
A D in economics? Oh, you're very clever, though, to even do that
so I want to go to university.
You do?
Study English.
And what do you eventually want to be? Not a researcher in television or anything like that?
I've always wanted, since I was about 9, to be a teacher, an English teacher.
Oh, do you get on with kids? I mean, do you like kids?
As long as I can give them back at the end of the day.
I feel like that, and they're my own kids. Enjoy blind date, all 3 of you. The best of luck. I'll see you in a mo. See you later. Well, 3 girls looking for a mate, and here's the man who one will date. I'm a poet, and I don't know it. His name's John, and he's from Wiltshire. Come in, John. John from Wiltshire. Now, John, you've got this lovely baby face, but you're not a teenager, are you, sweetheart?
I'm not, no.
No.
No, 35 next week.
Oh. You are 23, am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you've got a very important job. I mean, I couldn't believe it when they told me about you. What are you?
Chief lavatory cleaner.
That's important too.
A financial consultant.
At 23 years of age.
Yep. And I've got the wrinkles to prove it.
The wrinkles? Don't talk about wrinkles. Let's talk about these 3 questions you can ask those girls. Are they
Right.
interesting ones?
Well, we'll find out, shall we?
Let's have your first one.
Right. I run the hottest disco in town, and sometimes the fuses blow. How would you occupy the dancers until I got them mended? Question for number 3.
Well, being in the dark, I'd like to play postman's knock. Because I'm just dying for one of your kisses.
Oh, you are, are you?
That's number